Hello, Gloucester Township.
How's it going?
Thanks for joining Restore GT's podcast, the number one podcast.
Oh, man. You messed it up the first second we were on the air.
Let's be honest. It's been 2.5 hours of trying to figure out how to...
You guys have no idea what goes into putting this thing on here. It's a lot of work.
We did 20 minutes of an episode and realized we had no sound.
Yeah. So thank God we didn't go the whole way through, because I would have just left. See you, Joe. Good luck with it. But
oh man,
yeah. So, we're here.
We are. I forgot what all the topics were. So
yeah, but we were starting off talking about you being recognized for the.
Oh yeah. Somebody I talked to a couple people this week, actually.
Yeah.
Talked to a few people. New person came out to a council meeting. Got to speak with her for quite a bit. Had some concerns on affordable senior housing.
Yep.
And the lack of affordable senior housing in Gloucester Township, and the fact that there's a 4-year wait for affordable senior housing. Was one of her concerns. I guess she saw a video or.
She saw a Facebook post where somebody brought their husband out to a council meeting and then was just talking about their husband's reaction to their somewhat shock of this is how they talk to people kind of thing. And
yes.
It spurred this woman to say, you know what, I'm putting it on my calendar. I'm going to come out and see what this is all about. I can't believe that that's actually true kind of thing, I believe. And she also had concerns around the senior housing. And it's not the first time that's happened where somebody's come out and was shocked about how
a lot of new people that don't follow along with our podcast or just watch meetings online. They come out and at first they're a little bit shocked and they're like,
yeah,
this is kind of crazy what goes on here. Encourage you all to come out and check it out usually. On Thursday evening, the agenda winds up out there for what's going to be talked about on Monday, and then of course at 7:30 every other Monday is a council meeting.
Right.
So you just come out and walk in the side of a municipal building, have a seat, and then usually afterwards, people kind of meet up in the parking lot afterwards, or some evenings, there's quite a bit of us, we'll just leave there and we'll go to Skeeter's or something like that and just all hang out. But we get some new people out from time to time. It's always good to see some new faces. We got some faces that have left. So some of the folks that you've heard on here quite a bit that you probably haven't heard in a few weeks. Just and left. They left the township. We got more people leaving the township. Sadly, there's another gentleman that is leaving, or I don't know if he left yet or not, but just moving out of state. They just had it and they're moving on.
Yeah, they've put up the fight for so long and just said, you know what, it's not worth it. But we all can't move, and we're fighting the good fight here.
Yeah.
Just look for transparency, like it says in the beginning, role of that thing. But yeah, wow, you did a really good job of like capturing 20 minutes of like our last podcast and rolling it all into like.
Yeah, so that's the
there.
key. If the other gentleman that I met said, "Man, your podcast is too long. It's too long. I don't have an hour to sit aside." And tried to explaining, "Hey, we're trying to cram in, sometimes 2 to 3 hour long meetings into 1 hour, along with some other topics that are happening in the township.
Yeah,
it's tough to get it in there. I'd love to put out short clips, but then you and I are sitting down here, and then we're putting out. Then we're sitting down here for,
20 hours
to get 5 hours to do a bunch of clips.
A bunch of 15-minute
so
clips.
Much easier just to do one show all the way through, and then we put up notes too. I don't know if you've ever scrolled down on the YouTube video, or I also post them on the website. There are
kind of an outline of what we're going through.
Kind of the show notes. But I used to do the timelines on. I used to do timestamps on. It's just time consuming to do that, but. From the first topic down to the last topic, that's how the show flows. So
you see a topic at the very end that intrigues you and says, "Oh, there's whatever, it's a warehouse, something I want to hear about that." You don't have to wait. You can kind of fast forward to see.
You fast forward through it.
Okay, is this where they're talking about it? It's not. But yeah, I mean the whole that guy that was saying that, explanation that you gave to him was like, I understand it's, it's long, but the whole point, we're actually achieving our kind of goal with this, right? Which is just to inform people, in a different way than the council meetings, attending. And we're making progress with it. Like you said, there was 60 people, I believe it was, viewing online in a random meeting.
The last council meeting, either this one or the one before, somebody commented and said, only 60 people watched the council meeting in the entire township of 50,000 people. And I thought, that's awesome.
Right.
Because...
It used to be 3.
Because it was 3. Yeah, it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, it was like 3 or 4 people would watch these council meetings. And that was really depressing. And then we started doing this. And then, 200 people would watch our show. So we thought, well, hey, if 3 people watched before and now 250 people watched the summary, then people are learning something.
Right.
And I think the goal has always been to not to preach and to campaign against these folks, but just, like, look, just
inform,
pay attention to what's going on, and then make your own mind up. I mean, that's really kind of what it is. We've made our own minds up on a few things. You thought that you wanted to go be a part of Board of Education. You made it happen. I'm doing the same thing with council. It's just, we're not here to campaign, just to let you make your own decisions. I mean, you could take it away. Everybody loves you, so I mean, it's like,
well, you're doing your thing for council, running for council this time, and you have a team of people all going together. You guys are doing a fundraiser coming up.
Yeah,
that's
there's it's a pretty cool fundraiser.
It's going to be a little bit different than a normal fundraiser. That's paying overpriced for a dinner that you could go get.
I gotta say, I hate fundraisers. I hate the thought of fundraisers. When I get invited to fundraisers, I'm like, look, I believe in what you got going on.
You'd rather just pay them to go away and not have to go.
if I'm gonna pay $150 to come to dinner, and of that $150, $100 goes towards your cause, I'd rather just send you the $100.
Right.
Because you're gonna overpay for probably a place that you don't go out to eat anyway because you didn't like it to begin with.
Right.
And then some guy's gonna talk about how he's gonna change the world.
Right.
And it's like, it's boring, right?
Right.
But so the goal here was to just want to do something fun.
So you want to create an event that you would want to go to, or that you feel other people would want to go to as well, not just yourself. Not a stuffy, let's get dressed up kind of, force somebody to get dressed up that doesn't normally. Look, let's face it, we're from a blue collar town here, right? It's not like everybody wears suits all the time and you feel out of place because somebody is dressed up and they gotta. This is just come have some whiskey, throw some axes. What do they call that? Fellowship with your neighbor kind of thing here, and
it's August 31st. It's on a Thursday night.
Okay.
It's
before Labor. Is Labor Day they want to see it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's Labor Day weekend. So like,
I'm before Labor Day weekend. It's the Thursday before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm taking a long weekend that weekend just to do this and
right.
And in case I'd take an axe to the head or something like that, I got a couple extra days to
that. Yeah.
But go to teamglowtwip.com, and then there's a link for it there. Get the details. If you purchase before August 1st, use the code WIN, and you get a discount on that.
WIN win.
It's I think it's we did a couple months ago with the first fundraiser that we did was it was like a Second Amendment shoot, and it's in a closed private
club. Like gun club,
and they only allow like 60 people in, but they do it twice a year, and it's successful and people love it.
Yeah,
because it's I think I forget how much it was, a person.
Well, it's an actual event, right? When you go to like a fun
like that one there, it's like $50 a person.
What the hell are you doing? You go sit at dinner and
I know you just sit and it's like boring.
This is just you can go have fun with.
This one, the Second Amendment shoots that they do, like I said, so it's kind of a closed group. The club only allows certain amount of people in, so but it was like $50 a person, and you go. There's experts there. She had pistols, rifles, several different kind of pistols, rifles, shotgun.
And you don't need one to
no, you just
attend
show
that.
up.
You just show
You don't
up.
have to show up with anything
And
at
that's
all.
the same with this. You can learn to throw axe. You don't need to bring an axe. Don't bring an axe. Actually,
Don't bring an axe.
leave them at home, and there'll be whiskey for you there as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be. I guess we haven't quite got the details on like whiskeys and stuff like that, but
Yeah,
I mean,
but there'll be
it's going to
stuff
be.
there.
I don't
There's
know.
cornhole. There's all kinds of tournament things going on. If you don't want to be in the tournament, you can just learn how to throw. Just hang out with.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Pool tables there. There's arcade games, like retro arcade games. There's pinball machines, air hockey, like all kinds of stuff to do. So it'll be a good time.
I've never thrown an axe before.
No?
No, I've never gone to one of these places. So
Okay.
I've never done it.
I went before. It's a good time.
Worst case is I just start cleaning up on the pool table.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll tear it up. So
Bring your quarters.
yeah, bring some quarters.
Yeah.
So hopefully, come on out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll put a link down in the description, and you
Yes.
can go to there. But moving on to our regularly scheduled program. It's enough of your plugging your
Yeah.
your
It was a
campaign and things
it
there.
was a short council meeting.
Oh, another
and,
thing too is you guys are donating also a portion of this to the
GT Stallions.
Yeah, the
Yes.
GT Stallions. Yep. So the
Yep.
football in town is getting a donation from you guys.
So yeah,
It's awesome.
it's a win-win. Unless you completely I really hate those guys that are running, but I like the GT Stallions. Come for that.
Yeah. They're
So
benefiting from it.
yeah, definitely. So council meeting was on July 24th, Monday, July 24th. Not a packed agenda.
I wasn't at this one, so I'm going to rely on you to carry this this out here if you don't mind.
Awesome.
I did the last one, so you're going to have to do this one.
I did.
I can't carry them all.
It was breastfeeding a month awareness, which
Awesome.
I didn't know what was a thing, but there was a big long proclamation to National Breastfeeding Month. So
Okay.
a big long reading on there. There's a lot to learn. Go back and watch the council meeting on that. Learn about that topic.
Okay.
And then our first. There wasn't really a whole lot going on in the first public portion.
Which is for things that are on the agenda. right?
Agenda. So our first topic came up with eGov.
Okay.
And somebody emailed in eGov about some neighbor issues they got.
Okay.
And I thought it was clip worthy.
Okay.
Clarissa Davis from 51 Sunset Drive, Clinton, New Jersey. Now that summer's here, the weather is beautiful. It's reading it verbatim. It's there an ordinance on how loud music can be played at resident. I'm a lover of music, but when it's at an extremely loud level, I have to complain. Music should be at a level where not the entire development can hear it. Also from 12 noon until 1 a.m. in the morning. Each weekend is going to be a problem. Can anyone help with the situation? Thank you, I'd appreciate it. After all, I pay my taxes. If you want to entertain like that, rent a hall, not at the expense of your neighbors. Have to hear a high volume every weekend. Please, can the volume be turned down? Need your help. I believe the police department and chief had addressed this.
Okay, just in case. Well, we had our Community Relations Bureau contact the complaint. We received that email from the mayor's office this morning. We attempted to contact, left a message. I don't know if we ever received, but in case they're watching. So Chapter 65 of our local ordinance is our noise ordinance. Generally speaking, we have a very vigorous noise enforcement when we get contacted. I encourage the person or anyone who thinks there's a noise violation to contact the police. We have a noise meter in certain circumstances, but all officers are trained to a certain point. Our ordinance states for loud music, but it generally is 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Listed. There's a reduction in the decibels. Now, during daytime, that doesn't mean that if something's blaring outlandishly outside those hours that enforcement can't be taken. So certainly contact the police department. We can certainly investigate. We're fully prepared to do that. through many type of enforcement measures.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it.
Man, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that that whole thing there.
It's tough because you think, man, all right, somebody's having a party, and it's loud. Sometimes,
Listen, you can tell how late a party's going to go by what they're playing, though. You know, if they're playing stuff, you're like, these people are old. This will be over by 9:30 at night. Some other things, but you're like, I don't know, man. I think they might be going till 3 a.m.
You got some Sinatra, even some 80s, maybe 90s music. You're like, they're going in soon. So,
they're playing Nickelback. You know, you're pretty safe.
I think
assume that this thing's wrapping up.
When I moved in here too, it's funny that a couple of neighbors told me behind me that they're like, neighbors behind you, man, they love the party. They'll party till 2:00 in the morning. And I thought, I don't know how much of that I can do, but I have never heard them. I've never. I mean, they have parties, but it's never even a thing that's crossed my mind. So I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. I haven't had noisy neighbors in a long time. So
maybe you're the noisy neighbor and you don't realize it.
No. I've never any cops here, nothing. So.
But yeah, the chief had mentioned they have devices that can measure the sound and everything. And I remember I don't know, it's the sound engineer from the warehouse studies that were done.
Oh yeah,
saying that like these are the levels that we need to be, and we were like in the middle of the daytime, just car noises alone. We're already above the level. So like it's like one of those things like, well, all right. I know the ordinance is for this here. What's the, what I mean? It's more of a subjective thing, I feel like, than it is an actual device that they have to use to measure. Because then it gets into things, too. It's like, how far away do you need to be in order for that to, to travel? I remember, I won't get into a whole thing about it, but I know you have to be a certain distance and blah, blah, blah.
I've actually gone through this, too, because when I had... I was telling you before, like I used to own a pool hall a long time ago.
Yeah.
And the neighbor to the pool hall was a Chinese food restaurant, and he would complain all the time. Pool halls, we have music and stuff. Sometimes we'd have a DJ at night, and
how dare you?
Sometimes we would get started before his restaurant would close, and he'd be on the phone with the police, and I had to buy a decibel meter.
Really? Yeah.
And I would sneak in over there. And I'd grab something to eat. I'd sit down, pull the decibel meter out, and have my partner turn the music on over there at the level that we would play it. And I'd sit there with the decibel meter, and I'd say, look, I'm under the decibel. I'm under the limit.
Right.
So, I kind of had an agreement. Look, we'll start things late when you're done. We'll kick it off. But it was just...
Oh, that's what being a neighbor is, right? Compromise. But, I need to do my thing. You need to do your thing.
It's a tough spot, man. If you got it, this person said that somebody is playing it every week. Like, every week it's something. And that's...
Is this the one that turned out to be Mr. Softee was the sound that they were?
No, that's
a whole nother one?
That's the next thing I wanted to... This thing here reminded me of that.
Okay.
So apparently
I was like on like 6 ABC News. It got all the way that far, right?
Somebody kicked Mr. Softee out of their neighborhood.
Can you imagine?
The whole section of Blackwood, I guess. Like, Mr. Softee got banned from there because somebody said that Mr. Softee was like, I don't know, waking their babies up or something.
Like in the middle of the day.
2:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
I don't know. Come to think of it now, this Mr. Softee hits my street every day. Because I work from home, and every day Mr. Softee's on my street. My street's a cul-de-sac. So, and then he stops. I feel like the neighbors get Mr. Softee every time because he stops. My dogs lose it when they hear Mr. Softee.
Yeah,
they're at the window just going crazy, and it's kind of like if I'm on a conference call when Mr. Softee comes, it's a bad time. But I would never call and kick Mr. Softee out of the neighborhood. But I haven't seen that guy. I didn't see him all last week. He
might be scared.
He's just home. He gave up. But. Yeah, it was on the news. Don't call about Mr. Softee, man. Mr. Softee's been here since...
I remember when we were younger, I was I don't know, probably like 18, 19. I didn't grow up around here, but I had a friend that grew up in Blackwood, and he drove a Mr. Softee truck. I had another friend that also drove a Mr. Softee truck who ended up moving to Virginia and starting his own Mr. Softee kind of thing down there. But I remember him, my one friend saying that the majority of his business was at like 9:30 at night, like in like Cherrywood and like in the apartments and stuff like that. And this lady's calling about Mr. Softee in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh my
I spent
God.
time in the hospital chasing a Mr. Softee one time. Wrecked my bicycle. Yeah. So I always had a grudge on Mr. Softee, but I've never had him kicked out of my neighborhood. So.
Yeah.
What else? What else we got going on there?
I think the next topic we had was about the agenda that we always talk about, like what's on the agenda. So there are rules around, I guess, telling people, the public, what's going to be on the agenda. So this way they at least have a little time to research, find out what they may have an issue with or whatever the case is, to know that it's being discussed. And sometimes the ball gets dropped on when that actually gets published. So the town, as we know, is a 4-day work week, right? So before they leave on Thursday, they publish the agenda. I think is when it's supposed to be published. But so this past time, it was by several people said that the agenda was not posted.
Yeah, I know. I know there was some chat. Somebody had mentioned that it was like Friday, and they said there's no agenda. I've emailed them, asked for the agenda, and there's a couple of us that read it a couple days early.
Yeah.
Or like usually me, I just cram it like right before I go.
Right.
But yeah, some people like to read it a couple days early. Gives them a little time to check up on things, develop some questions.
Right.
And I guess it wasn't available, and it's been a couple times, I guess, that it wasn't available. But the thing that stood out was in my mind, you just say, "Sorry, guys, we screwed up." That's it.
It should be that easy.
It's not really what happened. But I think the first clip was.
You have multiple clips on this here?
Just one clip, but it was
Okay.
it was the discrepancy between the people said, "Look, it wasn't there Friday," and then it wasn't there Saturday morning either, and then council said, "No, it was there Saturday morning," and people were like, "No, I screenshotted it."
And they're like, "Yeah, I have
I
one
have
too."
screenshots, and they're like, "Yeah, so do we." But so yeah, it's
Agendas on Thursday afternoon. The clerk, Ms. Power, contacts me. I review the agenda. I okay the agenda. Then Ms. Power sends it to our updates to have it put on the site. So we spoke to, after we received this email, we spoke to Roger, who does our updates for us. And it seemed that the council agenda was published at 12:21 on Friday, the 21st, and the capture of that posting is attached. It has the timestamp to it.
In speaking with Joe, you stated that the agenda was up on Friday.
We have a timestamp, Friday 21st at 12:21:48, and a screenshot of when it was published.
Do you know at what page it was? Because the page that typically where one would find under current meetings on Saturday at 9:39 a.m., which the date was 7/22, it was not posted.
FYI, I also looked for the agenda on Friday. It was not posted. Friday night, it was not
Received your
posted.
email, yes.
Saturday morning, it was not posted, and I happened to be online when it was posted, and it was, I believe, 12:39 on Saturday.
He's lying.
Yep. Oh my God.
yeah.
That was a lot of talk about the when the agenda's being posted. But like you said, just say we messed up. How hard is it?
That's all you gotta do. Sorry, guys, we messed up.
Yeah, you have to, I guess, not be very full of yourself to be able to admit that it's possible something went wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could go in. I guess if you want to get technical, I mean, if you're really technical about it, the website that it is posted in is a WordPress-based website with logging on it, so it would show the actual time. They could publish that if they wanted to publish that and say, look,
Right.
we published it on this date at this time. You could do that, but I mean, I don't know that I could. I don't. It's tough making an Oprah request, and you're like, I think this Oprah request is going to go over everybody's head. So we didn't bother doing that. But still, it's just kind of one of those things.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? It's a gotcha moment. So
Roger is the guy though that does it. It's just fun. I don't know. Besides Roger Waters, I don't know another Roger besides a guy that we used to call him Roger the Wife Dodger because he would hide from his wife.
about Wilco.
Pretend he went to work and stuff like that, but it was just, it's not a common. Oh, yeah, Roger.
Hey, Roger Wilco.
It's just not a common name, but it is at the same time.
No, yeah, I don't know any. Yeah, there's a lot. There's Mr. Rogers, Buck Rogers, but that's the last name. I don't even know. So
anyway,
I don't know. Speaking of the website, though, somebody else had a comment about the website.
Just the ease of the website. Like, it needs to just be revamped completely. Granted, I understand that is dollars, but it has to be accessible and easy for myself, for all residents. You know, you have the millennials, you have seniors, you have people who are not digitally inclined.
Oh, I cut it off at the end there.
Yeah.
It says just go to restoregt.com.
Just do that.
For your council meeting recordings, and honestly, they're tough to find.
But that's kind of part of what the heck Restore GT kind of came about as. It's almost as if they try to be as non-transparent as possible, right? So Restore GT is a place where you can just go and easily find something because the site is next to impossible to find things. But, we've gone over it before, too, where the township will save PDFs in something that you can't, it's not indexable, so you can't search it, and you have to intentionally save it in a format that's not that way. And then, it's just everything on there is just, go try and search to find something on there. It's literally next to impossible.
Open any PDF from your job. Control F brings up the find window. You can search for text in there. You cannot do that on one of ours because they don't let you because it's not in a text format in there.
Right.
You're sure you can read it like text, but you can't search it.
Right.
And
it's
then
like an image.
If you were to look for a particular thing from another township, some ordinance that was talked about, and you Google that ordinance for that township, you can find, because Google will index the PDFs, you could find something. You cannot find that here.
Yeah,
and as far as
it has to be intentional.
It's got to be, or we've got really enough people working in there that are doing this job. But the website in general is there's a lot. There's a lot on there, and sure, it's a big township. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, that's true.
If I can't, I do this kind of stuff. I do some kind of stuff for a living.
Right.
And the websites I kind of do on the side. But I am by profession, a cloud engineer, infrastructure engineer. If anybody's computer savvy, it's me.
Right.
I can't find anything on that website. I mean, I can, but it's like it's painful, and I think the regular person that just needs to find some information, it's a tough navigation.
Yeah, it's like how do we check the box that it's there, but it's also not findable. It's only findable because we can know where something is, that if somebody were to try to just say, whatever, sue you over it, like, no, it's posted, here it is, it's online. Okay, well, how do I get to that? Show me how I were to arrive at that without knowing the exact path to get to this, place there.
If you just if there's something coming up in a council meeting that you want to know, you go to the website, and then you've got to find the municipal clerk link to the website.
If that time they put it there, because sometimes it's in the upcoming meetings page, or it's on a different page. Oh yeah, sorry, we put it on a random page. It was there though.
But once you get to the municipal clerk page, that's where somewhere on there on the right hand side is a long list of all kinds of links. One of them says council agenda, current meeting council agenda.
Yeah.
And then there's the PDF there. But then if you want to watch the video, there's another link that says like eGov access, and you go there, and then there's the link where it actually plays. It's like, if it were my township, it would be like council meetings that day would be on the homepage. It's 7 o'clock. Put a link on the homepage for it. It's not that difficult to do.
Well,
I mean,
I just did a video too. If you go on our videos about that kind of thing, there, if it was, that was what was coming up, right? We should have that as, hey, there's a council meeting here. I was in Belmar at the light, coming down from, I guess I don't know what that is, Browning Road. On the corner there's a, I don't know if Roger Wilco's, who now they said Roger, there's a Canals, that's what
Canals,
it is.
yeah.
But they have this big, digital sign out there from the township, and I was sitting there watching. Yes. It said, council meeting this night over here, planning board meeting this night here. Here's the location. This one, and it had that's what was flashing up on there. And then after that, then it was like, hey, here's some, event that we have going on in town. Here's another event we have going on in town. Here's the zoning board meeting. Is this date here? And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that in our town. No. So I went out with my video camera again and just to see, hey, what's on their our signs out here. There's no mention that there's any function of government whatsoever. It's all, hey, the police said lock your cars, even though we have crime going down all the time, is what they tell us. There's the Easter bunny's coming and every other thing that they have out there, but there's no mention whatsoever of any upcoming meetings.
Nothing.
It's almost as if they don't want you to know anything that's there. The only way you're going to find it out is if you actually went onto the site, found this. It is. If it's not that way, then prove us wrong. Do it. Put up the next council meeting on the digital sign that's out there. Do something that's shows that you want people to come out and participate in their government.
They drug a big electric sign out there for COVID to let you know that the building was closed.
Yeah.
Even though they were running council meetings inside.
Right
at the parking lot where you go to park, it said.
I think I took a picture of that. Yeah, building is closed.
While there's a meeting going on. We're driving past it to go into the meeting, and I'm like, anybody that's coming here to go to the meeting is going to look at this and go, wow, that's closed. We can't get in and watch a council meeting.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not.
The website sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrible website. But I mean, look, sometimes that stuff just happens. Like you get a website and you start expanding, it just sprawls into something.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is probably,
there's a way to make it.
Yeah, it's time to start fixing it. We could probably split things up into different sites, but just link from the main site. So
yeah,
the homepage itself is just disastrous.
Yeah,
but
anyway,
so if Roger's a fan, sorry Roger, but maybe they'll.
Maybe Rogers does the updates though. We pay a company $9,000 a month to update the site.
That can't be true.
That's absolutely true.
No way.
I swear to God.
I do a redesign for them for like $1,500. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen them approve it before at a meeting. Be like, wait, it's like Blue Wire Media, I believe it is. But yeah, look, ask. I'm gonna ask Pete after this if he can pull. I'll bet you Pete knows.
I'm gonna get a new job. I'm gonna be Roger soon.
Yeah. So then we have somebody emailed in another question. Not just about the noise thing and not about the agenda.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, why is it always the same people that you call on out there in the audience? Now, this person must believe that there's an entire...
They must think other people...
an audience and somebody's intentionally calling on the same people. Reality of it is, it's only those people that show up to the meeting that get called on. There's a very, small handful of people.
What is there, like 200 chairs in that room? What do you think?
I don't know. There's probably 20 rows of 10, 200. There's probably 400 chairs in there. I don't know.
It's a lot of chairs, right? So this week when I went, a lot of people did school board meeting. So when I got there, it was like three people in the front, and then the rest of the place was like me, just sitting back there by myself.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, man, I wish there'd just be other people to sit around. So it wasn't. Yeah. So it's not like when I'm sitting in the crowd that the only thing that they have to look at
is you,
me.
Yeah.
Me and Miss Smithman asking about signs for the blind. So
yeah, play that clip there. Is what clip 4?
We got.
A few weeks ago, the clerk had reached out to me and received an email And I guess there's a concern from a resident that it seems that the same people are called upon. So those who are watching from home, when someone raises their hand in the audience, they're called upon. And each individual is entitled to time during the public portion, and for the first one for agenda items, and then for the second public portion. So anyone who's watching from home and they think it's just the same people, those are the people that raise their hands, and they're asked to come up here and speak, and they're entitled to their time.
Not only are they the people, the only people that raise their hands, they're the only people that go.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's people that don't, like, I don't get up there and ask anything.
From the people that raise their hands, outside of those people that you see, the rest of the people in the audience are like you, me,
my daughter.
Yeah, your daughter. I don't know who those two guys were that were sitting up front. I don't think I've seen them before, but that's kind of it. And there's a bunch of police officers that just kind of hang out in the back just to see if somebody says something really stupid. But that's kind of it. It's
a pretty empty room.
It's lonely in there sometimes, guys. Come out.
And that's what we're saying. We're doing this to try to help boost people's awareness of what's going on there.
At least they're watching. At least they're watching from home.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much it that we have for.
It is.
It was a very uneventful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. There was. I mean, there was a long discussion from some other people about different topics. Miss Smithman went on for a long time about breastfeeding. So to the point where somebody from the front came up and walked past and went, I don't even know what's happening right now, and then just walked by. I was like,
oh, that was the new lady you said, right? Yeah.
She was not a fan.
She wasn't prepared for that. Some regulars are prepared for that.
Yeah, Chief, just want to grab this clip for the Chief here on National Night Out coming up.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to council and the community, next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow, is National Night Out. We'll be hitting numerous locations throughout the township. It's great interaction between us and the community. We're going to end the evening here in Veterans Park, where we'll have fireworks at the conclusion of the event when it gets dark. So we invite everybody to come out, have a good time, and interact with us. It's always a great event for this community. It's really a great community building event that we participate in. So come on out next Tuesday night.
Okay, so Tuesday night, that's August 1st, I believe, right? Yes, August 1st. It's National Night Out.
August 1st.
Other towns are doing the same thing, and Gloucester Township participates in this. Spend a little money. And
my wife just asked me the other night. She's like, is this like a New Jersey thing? Because she doesn't remember. She grew up in Maryland. And then we met each other out in Pennsylvania when I lived out there.
Well, it's called National Night Out.
I know, right?
It is.
But
I don't know.
She didn't remember it from when she was. I don't remember it from when I was a kid. I grew up in Pine Hill. I don't remember National Night Out.
Maybe it started at some point recently where it was like, hey, let's start a thing called National Night Out, and they didn't have it when
Do
you were
you
a
remember
kid.
as a kid?
No, I don't remember it.
So you're helping me out with this point then.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember it. I don't remember it 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't remember.
I don't remember it since I remember it like after moving to Gloucester Township, and
I believe last year might be the first time that I was aware that it was a thing. Paul Krug did the one that was over on State Street Park.
Yeah.
For the Blackwood Estates thing, and maybe it was the year before that I was aware of it, but it to me is also a very new thing. But I believe the whole purpose is just to get the community out, and I don't know, just see who your neighbors are, meet your neighbors. It's one of those things where today's day and age that people don't meet their neighbors. It's somebody knocks on your door, you're like, who the hell's that? Why are they knocking on my door?
That's even if you answer.
Right. Well, yeah, you won't answer.
Got a camera at
the
door now.
Inviting people out and getting getting them to talk to their neighbors. I believe that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So I guess there's the Blackwood one still. I guess the Blackwood Estates area, they have one.
From what I know, I mean there could be others, but I think Y Oak has one, which is over by the Target over there, right?
Yeah, right behind Target is Y Oak.
Yeah, and then you have the Veterans Park, which is where the municipal building is. You have the one that's on State Street Park. That's like the Blackwood Estates. And there was another one that we were talking about, too. I know those, but
I know
I'm sure it's on the website. I'm sure you could probably easily find it. So it's on there somewhere. But
I talked to so I know I'll be at the well, at least gonna start at the Y Oak, I guess. I guess
are you gonna go and
you're going
shake
with me,
hands
right?
and
You're going
yeah,
with me,
I
yeah.
guess I'll go.
Yeah, you're going.
We're gonna travel.
Oh, we should bring the mic.
No, I think we're gonna go to State Street Park.
Oh, we are?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sam Sweet called me because he's got something to do with the Y Oak one. Put
Yeah,
together.
maybe you're right. That's what
and
it is.
said, hey, come out. You should come out here. So I think you and I'll probably go out and talk to people, and then I think over in some of the other locations.
Look at Veterans Park. Your
think-
running mates were going over there,
I
right?
think Joe D'Amico and Tim Pfeffer's going to be over there. I believe Ray Henry has a work obligation that night, so I don't think he'll go. But yeah, three of the four will be around,
Okay.
and then celebrity Keith will be over there
Oh, please.
signing restore GT signs and handing them out.
Yeah. But
No, it's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to the and then I'm right after this is done. I'm gonna Google and find out how long National Night Out's been a thing.
Yeah.
Watch it be like 100 years.
right.
Like,
If
yeah.
it is, then towns didn't do it. I mean, I know there's for some reason I'm a member in Delran thing, and there's somebody breaking stones over there about how much money the town spent on National Night Out last year, and it was like $250,000 or something like that they spent on it. I'm like, we didn't spend anywhere near that in Gloucester Township, and it's much bigger than there. But it was just
we
a
do
funny thing. It was like, what is the right amount of money to spend as a town on helping get your community together and getting them,
That's
some fireworks.
That's another one of those things. Like we mentioned before when we got talking about the, all the concern that all the firemen that have come forward and they're like talking about, we really got to fix the fire department. We got to merge them all together and all that. And it's like, well, that's a thing we don't really want to touch.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that says
we need to stop the fun.
These fireworks are way too long. I don't know what do we spend on these? Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But of course, in the back of your mind, you're going, probably spent a lot of money here right now. So, but you don't want to be the guy that kills all the fun. So
Yeah.
that'll never be the intention of any of the folks that I have that I put myself together with to run on, at least. So
Yeah.
we won't be killing the fireworks off.
We want parks. We want fireworks. We need the fire department. Yeah.
Yeah, so something else that's got a long tradition too was one of the final things that was talked about in here. And there was an interesting thing that I pulled out of this too, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
This past Friday and this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mainstage Center for the Arts celebrated its 35th anniversary. This organization started in 1989 with a dream of an educator at Glen Landing Middle School. Were you there at the time when Mr. Pasella and Mr. Brett Schneider came to? You may have been on council at the time because, Helen, they talked about where they had to come to council and also to the school board to get funding for it.
Yes.
And Mr. Pasella, in his comments on Friday, Michael and I were both there, talked about how kids who play sports, it's basketball, baseball, or soccer, they can get to play, but kids who dance and sing didn't have an outlet for it. And that was the creation of Mainstage.
So 35 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
Mainstage was created, and Miss Troxel was on council.
Yep.
So not only do we have a council president that's been there for 19 years, but we're recycling people from the past and bringing them back.
Yeah.
It's such a closed group. Like
You're in the club or you're not.
I didn't even catch that when we was there during the meeting, but I was going through just looking for stuff for clips, and I thought 35 years ago she was on council and she's back again. Like that's how hard it is to crack in there. That they're grabbing people from 35 years ago and they're bringing them back up, and putting them back in.
To I guess explain to people that don't know, she was basically appointed that position because someone else had left. So they're like, yeah, we know her. Let's bring her in, for that basically.
Yeah, you gotta pull you back in. So it's a small little club there, and
and you're not in it.
You're not in it. That's it, man. That's
pretty much it. We did a short one for you guys that don't like the long podcast here. We're at like 45 minutes.
Are we short? Oh, 45 minutes, man. I thought we were at like 25.
No. We cut out a good, like you said actually earlier, about 20 minutes of it we probably cut out.
Yeah, we did. We did talk for 25 minutes.
We had a big long thing in there about the we won't get into it.
And then realized that there was no audio. So that's it for you folks that don't have an hour to take out of your time and catch the podcast. Here's a 45-minute one right for you. Well, it's going on 46 minutes right now. So
thanks for joining us this week.
Thanks for joining us.
See you soon.
If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Hit the like button too. How's that? We ask every time. Hit the like button. 250 people watch. We get like 4 likes.
They didn't watch to the end.
What are they doing?
I don't know. They watched like 6 minutes or something.
I'm going to edit this thing, and right at the beginning, I'm going to say hit the like button, just to see if anybody hits the like button.
All right. You do that.
Buy tickets for that fundraiser.
See ya.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Check the link at the bottom.
See you guys.